Now here in the Situation Room, the Republican U.S. Senate candidate from Maryland, the state's former governor, Larry Hogan. Governor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You heard Trump repeatedly call his political opponents, I'm quoting him now, the enemy from within. Why aren't we seeing more congressional Republicans, whom you hope to join if you're elected to the Senate, condemning these comments?
Well, that's a great question, Wolf. I mean, I think you know that I've been probably one of the most outspoken critics over the past 8 years, and it always concerns me when other people don't speak up. But look, this is nothing really new for us, and I think it's just that there's a lot of divisiveness and kind of angry rhetoric here in the closing week of the campaign, and I think, like most Americans, I'm just kind of sick and tired and fed up with the angry, divisive politics, and I think, like most people, I'm ready for this election to be over with.
Yeah, you want it to be over with, but you blame mostly Trump for the divisive rhetoric.
Well, look, I think the rhetoric has been, Trump's rhetoric is something I've criticized for a long time, and I think he's his own worst enemy, and I don't think he's helping himself in the election with swing voters, but we're not really hearing an honest discussion of the issues from either side, and we're hearing some kind of divisiveness from both camps.
The House Speaker, Mike Johnson, told a crowd that there will be, in his word, massive health care changes in America if Donald Trump wins the election, saying, and I'm quoting him now, no Obamacare when asked by someone in the crowd. Would you vote for massive changes to the current health care laws?
Look, I was one of the few governors, Republican governors in America, to stand up to fight to protect the Affordable Care Act. John McCain called me right before he walked out on the Senate floor to give it the big thumbs down, and I made sure that we protected hundreds of thousands of additional Marylanders. But I also worked with my Democratic legislature to lower the cost of health insurance by 30% per year, and I think what we need is some bipartisan solutions and not just divisive rhetoric.
I know you work hard for bipartisanship.
Absolutely.
And we'll see how that unfolds. Your campaign, though, is explicitly targeting Kamala Harris voters in a new ad, and I want to play part of that. Watch and listen.
I like Hogan. He works with both parties. He finds common sense solutions. Alsobrooks would support her party 100% of the time, even their most extreme positions. This isn't complicated. I'm splitting my ticket. Harris and Hogan.
Because you've said you won't vote for Trump, right?
Yes, that's correct.
But in that ad, you seem to be promoting Kamala Harris as well.
No, actually, this is a woman who was a former chairman of the Democratic Women's Club in Montgomery County, and she's splitting her ticket. I think this is a big part of my coalition. In Maryland, I've got to win most of the Republicans, most of the independents, where we're winning by 20 points, and about a third of the Democrats. And that's how I was elected governor twice and became only the second Republican in 248 years to be reelected.
But you're not going to vote for Trump. Are you going to vote for Kamala Harris?
I've decided that neither one of them has earned my vote, and I've never voted for anybody I didn't really believe in.
So you're just not going to vote for the presidential candidate? Right. You're going to leave that blank when you go to the polling booth? What do you think the argument that she's making is if you're elected a Republican senator from the state of Maryland, you will help, if there's a close vote, the majority Republicans be the leadership in the U.S. Senate?
Yeah, I think that's the main part of their campaign, is just try to scare voters who have voted for me twice already and who have a favorable opinion of me, that I'm going to be somehow the one that flips the vote. But I don't believe that's true. And there's a lot of other states that are more likely to do that. But I know that I will be the loudest voice and the one who stands up. And I've never been afraid to stand up to the former president or to the Republican Party or the Democratic Party when I think they're wrong. And I think my kind of bipartisan, common sense leadership is what's desperately lacking in Washington.
As you know, abortion rights for women is a key issue. The overturn of Roe v. Wade, as we all know. But you've said you won't necessarily apply a litmus test to judges. Does that mean you would be willing to confirm anti-abortion justices to the highest court?
Well, look, I've said that I was going to co-sponsor a bill to codify Roe, and my opponent's entire campaign has been lying about my record on abortion, where I ran for governor promising to protect access, and I delivered on that promise for 8 years. I also have more experience at judges than anyone in the Senate. I appointed 190 judges, 6 out of the 7 members of our Supreme Court, and every single one of them received unanimous confirmation from every Republican and every Democrat in our Senate. And I think both sides trying to game the system is not what we need. We need to get back to qualified judges that we can find bipartisan buy-in. And I said I won't vote for any appointee from either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump unless there's some bipartisan buy-in.
So you support abortion rights for women. Would you vote to bring back Roe v. Wade?
Yes, I'm going to co-sponsor the bill to protect Roe v. Wade so that no one can come between a woman and her doctor.
Now, if you're elected to the U.S. Senate, Are you ready to commit to remaining a Republican, or is there a possibility you could do what some others have done, become an independent?
Well, look, I'm committed to I'm a lifelong Republican, and my goal has been to try to get our party back on track to the principles that I think it used to stand for, and I think I've proven that I'm willing to stand up to the kind of the other part of my party.
Governor, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you, Wolf.
Appreciate it very much.